Hello friends, good morning. This is Kolluri from CIP Study Abroad. I am a regulated Canadian immigration consultant and previously worked in Conestoga College and Mohawk College as the International Students Recruitment Officer. Welcome to our Zoom session today, streamed for YouTube. I wanted to have a quick review with Parima Chawla. Parima Chawla is an international student, or was an international student from India, and she graduated from Seneca College. One of our close applicants with me. We've been in touch with her for many years, and she applied through CIP. So Parima, thank you very much. Welcome to our YouTube channel. How are you doing, Parima?
It's my pleasure, sir.
Yeah. So Parima, it's been a long journey together with CIP. Can you explain me why you choose Canada, and how did Canada welcome you after after you started your studies? Just about your experience in Canada, general experience.
Well, indeed, when I look back on those years, I have tears in my eyes, because when I started, I remember the day when I saw your ad on Facebook. And I was very skeptical whether I should speak to you, I should not speak to you. When I spoke to you for the first time, I realized that I don't know if this is going to work out or not, but I know I can trust this. I can trust this agency, and I can rely my faith.
Good morning. This is Kolluri from CIP Study Abroad. I am a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. Yeah, sorry, please go ahead. Yeah, there's a background.
So, when I started my application, I was actually working side by side, and I was planning for the next year. I know I was working. It was a very hectic day, and suddenly I got a call from Gautham sir saying that there is one college which is reopening. So the application goes in 1 month. Like everything will be closed, and you have to fly into Canada. So when I was planning everything for the next year, and you suddenly come up with a plan for this year, this was the only person I think who could have done that, because I can assure you this personal thing that I have seen from my experience. Gautham sir takes the applications of all of you as their own kids. Like he wouldn't think for a second time to work the extra mile for you. When he said that everything has to be done within 1 month, I was so nervous and I didn't know if I could do it. He assured me right there and then, just apply and we'll do it. So it was 1 month, one application, 1 month's journey, 1 month's hard work, and I was there in Canada. So when I look back, I don't think I could have done this with any other agency, be it anybody else. It's more or less, I think, a matter of trust, and also the hard work that I see. Like I couldn't believe that I didn't step a foot in sir's agency, because it was all online at that point in time. And trust me when I say this, it was telephonic conversations that gave me so much belief that I knew it would work out. I just didn't know how, I just didn't know when, but it would work out. And the belief, I could see that in 1 month. So definitely, when it comes to recommendation, I don't have words to say that I should recommend sir or not, because I think when you speak to him, you'll realize that it's not just his experience and all the amazing people that he has. It's his hard work. It's his hard work that's been paying off, that will always be. So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
And I think it will always be beyond words to say this.
Yes, thank you. This was not a planned video review. Thank you very much. Please hold on. I see you are, I have no words. We have a very warm relationship with you. Yes, please go ahead. Yeah.
Yes, when it comes to your other question about why I chose Canada, I was working in India as a recruiter. So I knew the nitty-gritties of working in the Indian industry, and you also warned me about coming here to Canada, the amount of work that you have to put in coming here to Canada. I just knew that in order to expand myself, I saw a better network here in Canada and a better education exposure in terms of HR when I researched initially. that was my decision when I came here to Canada, because I wanted to grow in HR and I could see a lot of potential here. When I came to Canada, I can promise you one thing: there will be setbacks and there'll be a lot of challenges that you'll have to face. But if I have to assure you of one thing, it will be, if there is hard work, you can get things done here. I know that's the same case with other places as well. But when you see the potential of different industries, Canada does offer that. So as long as you are hardworking, which sir also mentioned a couple of times, that there will be a lot of setbacks when you come here. So there sure will be. But if you work hard, and you have to have a strong mind for sure, because you're leaving everything that's comfortable, everything that was comfortable back there, your friends, your school, your career, something that you've built for 20-25 years of your life. So there will be setbacks when you come here, and it's not going to get better in a day or an year or in even 2 years. But yes, 5 years down the line, when you look back, you'll realize that you've grown a lot. And even if you decide to switch industries, to switch places, to switch countries, you would have grown so much that you would have your own, like you would have your own set of qualities or set of bases to grow from. So definitely, it was an amazing journey. It has always been, and I still can't thank sir enough for getting all of that done in a month, because I wouldn't have been able to. If there was anybody else that I would have trusted it, I would be here in Canada, but it could have been an year or 2 years. And during that time, I don't know what would have changed. So in a month, contacting somebody and getting it done, I don't have words to say anything else.
Well, thank you, Vicky. I'm really proud of you. You know, I've been talking to you from India, and you have successfully graduated. You have a job now. You know, it's just a coincidence. It's God's blessing, to be honest. That particular time, we do work with Seneca College, but for Indian students, as you know, we don't get paid. But again, I remember talking to you, and we are. For us, it is our student success is important, and it was Seneca opened at that time for a very short time. There were few seats, and we actually were able to get Parima out there. We did not charge a single rupee, single dollar. Everything was process free, and we didn't get anything except all the good wishes from Parima, and which I'm very grateful. And as Parima mentioned, we have offices, but we are a strong virtual platform. We have offices and processing teams in 5 countries, and we support our students extensively from the study visa till the immigration. And again, once the students are here, they can always connect with us. We have our office in Toronto, and we have a team in Toronto as well. So yeah, thank you. And Parima, how was your experience? You know, about the studying back in India and here in public institutions and Seneca College, right? You how would you compare it, and what would you advise other students? It was not an easy journey. You had, unfortunately, some health issues, right? You had an injury and you struggled and worked out. So what would you advise? Like, how was your experience with Seneca College in general, about your I would say, yeah, journey, Canada education experience?
Yes, definitely. The education system, when I studied back there, I didn't do a lot of HR in my education. I did a couple courses in HR in bachelor's. I love the Canadian education system because I think it gives value to your work, and like the amount of pressure that's put on to give credentials and always cite whatever you write. I think that's always been the culture in all the North American countries. So I really love that part. I think with the Canadian education, it teaches you a lot in terms of exposure and working on the theoretical aspect, especially in Seneca College, I believe. When I worked with Seneca personally, I also worked in all the federations that I could possibly join. Like, I've always been an outgoing person. So I worked with SSF, the Student Federation. I worked with the Leadership Institute for Seneca, since they were all HR related. So I think with academics, these things play a very important role, and Seneca has always been great in providing that. So I think with the like I remember in our course there was once a visit to Seneca's HR department. So apart from the theoretical things that they were teaching us, they also made us interact with the HR team of Seneca, like the whole HR department. I think it was in the Markham campus at that time. So it was like a full day trip to their HR department, discussing whichever departments you are interested in. So I was interested in training department, and that's where who I could speak to. I think that's where I realized that there is a lot of there are a lot of things which remain ambiguous if you're only like concentrating on the theoretical aspects. But I think even when things went online, they still carry forward everything. Like I still see a lot of posts in which Seneca is doing things which, even if they are online, they're still hosting those leadership things. And there's also this amazing mentorship thing that I came across in Seneca, where a mentor teaches you how to get back in the industry, how to start your journey there. So I think this all is amazing. Like you wouldn't get that if you would just confine yourself to the theoretical aspects, which Seneca makes sure that they don't do that in their courses.
That is that's great to hear. So how about your Canada? How do you find the people? How do you compare to not in a comparison, but again, coming from India, you never traveled abroad. This was the first time you traveled, right? So how was the whole like what did you expect from Canada, and how do you see Canada when the first like how do you see Canada now? What was your experience here with the people? How were the people and the surroundings?
Yes, honestly speaking, I love traveling. So I loved the opportunity that I got to travel. I was excited than anybody else. My parents were nervous when I was traveling for the first time. My friends were nervous. I was the most excited person on the planet, getting books from the airport and buying coffee while I'm waiting for the flight. So I was very excited. When I came here, I think the culture of Canada is very welcoming. Like even when I walked on streets, I remember in my starting days at my college, people used to say good morning and pass you a smile back, which I used to find really overwhelming initially. That how do I respond? But I think people are very welcoming here. I think with a lot of cultures that we have so many cultures here with us in Canada that people take it as it is. Like be you from whichever place you are, they'll always welcome you as a part of their journey, as a part of their their life and everything. I think that's something that I really found amazing, because combining so many cultures, it can be a tough, tedious, and it can be an overwhelming task. But no, I've always seen that like people will be always welcoming in your classes, in your workplaces. You'll always find you can definitely walk up to people and say a hi and have a conversation and not think about that later. Like you will love it. So I would say that don't be hesitant for that. Like, don't be hesitant that what if I went and like spoke to somebody? Will I be welcome? Will I be appreciated? You would definitely be. Everybody has been through the same boat. Everybody has traveled, and everybody has been in the same shoes. So I think that's what the amazing part of this country is, that since everybody has seen people walking on those shoes or been themselves, they would always support you in be like somebody who's just like who came yesterday or somebody who's been here for years.
Indeed, yes. Canada, this is a country of immigrants, especially from our South Asian population. Indeed, very welcoming, and you feel it very safe and very welcoming people out here, as you correctly noted. Parima, how about your work experience, Betty? You were an international student, so how was your struggle with your part-time job? Was it difficult to find part-time jobs? What are your, how did you find part-time jobs, and what was your experience?
It is definitely difficult to establish a base in a country. I would lie if I say I didn't have my struggles there. Yes, it was difficult initially to find the jobs that you want, to find the jobs that you expected, or to find the jobs that you dreamed of. But like I said, if you think that you would be able to set up yourself in a day, in a year, or in 3 years down the line, you wouldn't be wrong, but you wouldn't be true either, because the thing is that sometimes the journey might take you a couple months, a couple years, but the aspect of the journey changes when you come here. Like the things that you think from India would be true are definitely not going to be true here, because when you come here, situations are different and your working style is different. You change as a person, your education changes as what you've been taught, and your culture changes, everybody around you changes. So it's going to be difficult, but I would say that in a couple of months I was able to find a part-time position. It isn't an effort of one specific site or one specific place that you would get it. Referrals are very important in Canada, so I would say build your network always. Don't be hesitant for that. We are all very welcoming here, so don't be hesitant on joining or talking to people. They'll definitely support you and be with your journey. Apart from that, all the websites are very supportive. LinkedIn is very important to grow in Canada. I found a lot of jobs through LinkedIn. Indeed was helpful. I also tried through directly applying on companies' websites. When these two weren't helpful, I tried directly as well. So I'm saying it's different for different people, but yes, things do work out. Just your perspective changes a lot, because when you're speaking back home in India, you have your dreams and your aspirations, but when you're coming here, you're also matching those dreams and aspirations with what you have. So that makes a lot of difference. After my part-time journey, full-time was something that I was very scared of. I didn't know if I could manage that. I didn't know if it would work out, but it did. So it does work out. It just takes time. It takes your effort and it takes a strong mind. So there will be days when you will be like, I don't want to do this. I want this to end and I want now to have everything stable. But trust me, you can't guarantee that in any other place as well. So how can you guarantee that when you're coming in altogether to a different country? So if you can't guarantee that in your home, you can't guarantee that in a different country either.
So where were you working, Betty, and how long did it take you to get a job?
When I worked part-time, I worked at Hudson Bay. But when I started working full-time, I got a referral when I was working and studying as well. Like when I was studying full-time and working part-time, that's when I got a referral for full-time in my current company. So I work as a technical advisor. Like I troubleshoot all the products that you have, everything that you all have in your hands. So yes, all of those products. But yes, I was lucky enough to get a referral. I think that's where network is important. Network is certainly which builds you everything. And I started my Canada journey with the network that I built. So that's how network I think is so important in Canada. So it was all through network that it worked out to me.
That is nice. So, uh, as an education consultant, I am really proud of you, Vicky. It's been such a long journey with you, and we've spoken so many times. And today, to see what you have achieved, I've seen you from India when the way you talk, the way you, handle yourself there. You were always energetic and always positive. But again, what I see you now is a mature individual who has succeeded in, at least has achieved what has been done. And, as your consultant, I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of
Oh my
you
God,
that
thank
I
you so
was,
much.
able to help somebody from India who has never met me. And for me, it's a privilege because thousands of students we are very strong virtually. They see us on our, like Parima, I think she saw her post in a Facebook group. We have a very large Facebook group, almost about 50,000. And we also do a lot of Zoom and Zoom sessions. So, so many people trust us. And for me as well, it's not really been a question of money, but it is such a pleasure to work with, help, and also be a part of dreams of brilliant kids like you is a blessing as well. It's so nice to see you, and I hope Parima's brother Shubh is now in France for a short internship, and he will also be applying through CIP, and we'll be happy to help him. And I think your brother is also proud of you because he hasn't seen you for some time. And what he remembers, you probably were your, brother and sister fights back home, and what your journey has transformed you. I think he's also proud of you, right, Shubh? Yeah. So I think he's silent. Yeah. So anyway, thank you very much. He has no words, I guess, right? Yeah, it's a pleasure as well, and I'm very touched with your life journey and with your what you have. I'm sure things will be fine. Very important again, part-time job is not just a survival. It is an opportunity for you to understand the culture here in Canada. It is an opportunity to network, right? It's not just adding people on LinkedIn. It is more about creating relationships. That is where a lot of things help. For me as well, how did I start my journey in Canada? When I came to Canada, I didn't really know anybody, right? I didn't know anyone here. I left home when I was 19, and I grew up in Eastern Europe. I've traveled to Canada many times before, but it was my meetings with the institutions, visit to the institutions, colleges and universities we work with, but I didn't have anybody out here. And I had no touch with India because I grew up in Ukraine. My second language was Ukrainian and Russian. English was only a business language. And when I came here, I also was an international student many years ago, and it was, networking. I was connected with the vice president of Conestoga International through his assistant, and we had a presentation, and the vice president liked it, and he offered me a part-time job, but for $10.50. So what gave me the first opportunity. So same as Parima said, right? She was working, and that's where she found an option to connect with and make jobs. So networking is very important. And second, as Parima mentioned, right, it is very, very important, guys. The struggle is real here. It is not what you see in the movies, right? When you see in the movies, big cars, nice apartments, all that, it all comes with a lot of effort. This doesn't happen. When you come here as an international student, you really have to have a solid confidence and a spirit to fight. You're leaving your home country, coming to a new country, and this is not going to be easy, right? It is a lot of challenges, and I always say, as internationals, we have to work 2-3 times harder than the domestic people, because it is their country. They know the culture, they speak the languages better than us, and for us, we have to do twice more hard work than domestic students. So be ready to work hard and be ready to communicate. It's a very welcoming people, when compared to other countries. I've lived in many countries. I've traveled to over 25 countries. Canada by far has been the most welcoming country. And, we all feel home away from home, especially for, expat community from India, from Brazil, or from Philippines. Every third or fourth person you will meet from your home country out here. So guys, be ready for hard work. It's not easy, and it takes, if you have good communication skills, right, you have to research, you have to plan, and you have to think and get things done. It is not something which will happen overnight. So success does not come overnight. It's like a tree which you grow, right? Your career, your dreams are trees which you plant, and you water it with your hard work. That's the only way to go. There is no shortcut. And Parima has worked hard, and I'm very happy to see her successfully graduate and get a job. This is the first job, and I'm sure there are many more brighter opportunities for you waiting on that. Yeah. Okay, so thank you very much, guys. This was Parima Chawla, CRP student from Delhi. You're from Delhi, right, Vicky?
Yes.
Yeah, she's from Delhi, and she successfully completed her studies here in Canada and now on a postgraduate work permit. So thank you.